Hi everyone, it's Sarah Joanne and this is day 2 of Sarah Joanne's Amazing Angel Tarot Tips. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. My daughter wasn't so well about an hour and a half ago, so I had to just put the live back, and she's a lot better now and she's settling in bed, so everything's fine. But yeah, I just had to put it back obviously because family's priority. So I'm just going to share this in one of my private groups, so people can see it in there and they've got a private space. So just bear with me one moment and then we'll get on to tip 2. So I would love to know, if you're watching me, please say hello. Please also let me know if you've been putting any cards under your pillow last night. I would love to hear if you watched tip 2 yesterday. So please let me know that. Please say hello. I can see a few of you have joined me. Right, that's shared. So we're ready. So yeah, do let me know. Do say hello. So hi Joe, thanks for joining me. So I'll get straight to it while people are joining. Firstly, I want to say, if you've not registered to get these video links and you don't want to miss a tip, because I'm doing 12 days of these tips on the Angel Tarot. So if you don't want to miss a tip, please register. And I'll put the link in this post above, and then that means that you get the tips automatically sent to your inbox. So if you don't want to miss one, or you don't want to be scrolling and looking for the video, because you can't always catch me live, then please do register, and then you'll get the replay links sent to your inbox so you can see them. So I'm going to start with tonight with one who's following these tips with me and who wants to really start connecting with others who are reading Angel Tarot and really start trying to read them for yourself. So please let me know that in the comments just before I start. So, and don't be shy, please do comment. And I'd like to know, if, in particular, if you've got this deck as well. That would be really interesting to see if you've got this deck. So I'm just waiting for comments to come up because it can take a while from my voice reaching out to you for comments to appear for me to read. So is there anybody out there? For myself, I'm getting them for Christmas. Right, Linda, brilliant. Well, hopefully you can follow this afterwards as well and still follow the Twitter, especially if you register for the links. Well, what I want to do for all of us that are watching this, I want us to start really interacting with each other. And I don't want us to do that particularly on my page. I want you to do it in the private space of Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot Guidance Group, which most of you are in. But my tip today is to get you to start reading the cards for yourself and just to get straight into it. And previously, when I've done these tips and I've shared them, I've gone through a few things first, but actually my guidance and the angels were saying to me today, you know, just let's get everybody doing it and sharing, because what I want to do is get you in touch with your own intuition. So if you think about situations in your life, I believe everybody is intuitive, and I believe everybody has the ability to tap into their own intuition. And when we're small and when we're small children, we really are very intuitive. But what happens is, as we get into our teenage years, we tend to just quash that away, don't believe in our intuition, we don't trust it. So ultimately, we just stop believing in our gut. And when we're little as well, and some of you may have experienced, and I'd love to hear if you have, you may, like we were saying about the example last night about walking into a room and feeling there's been an argument, that's your intuition and your knowing. And there may be things when you were younger and you were a child that you really were intuitive, that you could maybe feel something was wrong, maybe with your mum or your dad, when they were saying everything was okay, but you were feeling that there was something wrong. You may have not really liked somebody as a friend, and then, you know, just really known that they weren't your sort of person and trusted that, or maybe as an adult. Or you may have felt really good about somebody as well and felt, you know, like their aura and their energy was lovely. And if you think back to when you're young, you will have situations like this. And this is about tapping into your intuition again. And like I say, when we're a teenager, we're often very we just forget about our intuition and tend to go with what everybody else is doing and following crowds, and we go through all these hormones and we just sort of shut down our intuition. And also when we're a child as well, sometimes we have parents or adults say to us, don't be silly, that's not right. Or if you're saying something and say, well, I feel like this, or I've seen this, and then people quash those ideas, then you just stop trusting yourself. And what the cards can do is get you really tapping back into your own intuition. And I'm just laughing at Jo's question. She's saying, I burp when something's not right, lol. Yeah, and it's funny actually, burping and release can often be a release of something, where you may be picking up something and then you need to release it. So it can be quite interesting that, and actually we had quite a lot of that in Glastonbury. So you're not wrong there, Jo, actually. You're very right. If you feel that something's not right or something needs to be released, it can often be released literally through a burp, so to speak, which I find quite amusing, because somebody could just think I'm really rude if I start burping a lot. But what I want us to do, and particularly for those of you that are in the Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot Guidance group, what I want you to do is start picking a daily card for yourself. And I want you to take some time to actually stop and look at the card every morning. And often when we have a deck, and like I was saying about putting the energy, putting the deck under our pillow and sleeping with the energy, we need to have an energetic connection with the cards. We need to start connecting with them. And if we've done that and we've still got them under our pillow every night, a good way of connecting with them every day is to pick one out every day. So I'm going to give you an example of what you can be like if you've not really connected with your cards. So, and I'm going to ignore the words, because this is what I always do. I don't think you should follow the book's impacts. I think you should go with your own intuition. And I always teach this way. And I have a course. At the end of these 12 tips, I'll be opening the doors to my course, which is the Power Angels Tarot course. And in that course, I just don't look at the books and try not look at the words, because you need to be going with your own intuition. And if you do read for yourself, or particularly if you read for other people, for friends, they are going to want to come to you for your guidance and won't particularly want you reading a book, so to speak. So if I look at this card, the Change of Life card, and obviously the title is saying Change Your Life, but you could look at him and you think, well, what's he doing there? Why is he sat there? He's got this big light around his head. And you could look at these buildings, he's looking at the city. Is he going to jump? Is that what it means? Is he contemplating? Is he what? And this is how I would be previously without connecting to the cards. And I would look at it and think, well, I don't know what it is. What does it mean? Why is the rose of blue on this card? Why is the lights? And I would just really question things rather than just sitting and feeling. So what I want you to do is look at a card and actually just sit and feel and look at what you're feeling on this card. And for some of you, I want you to now, if you're looking at this card now and you can see this Change of Life card, let's just have some fun with this. Obviously, the card is meaning change your life in some way, but what are you seeing on the card? There's a man sat here on the edge. There's buildings. There's light. He's got wings on his back. He's like a bit of an angel. What are you seeing, and what do you think the meaning of this card could be by just looking at that? Hi Angela, thanks for joining me. And I just want you to just look at this and just see what you're coming at. What are you drawn to? And I want you to just say, and let's just have some fun and do it, and just comment, what are you drawn to on this card? What do you think it can possibly mean in terms of changing your life? And I'm just going to give you a few moments to just look at it and then also to comment. And I'll say what I'm drawn to, but I just like somebody to comment as well. Looks like Dubai, maybe moving to change jobs. Yeah, could mean moving to change jobs. That's quite interesting, Natalie, that you say that. It does look like Dubai, to be honest. Anybody else? Anybody else want to comment? That's really good. Reaching new heights. Yeah, exactly. I'm drawn to the green light. Is he sending healing? Well, it could mean that he needs to. So if you were reading this for somebody, Linda, you could say, I think you need to be going into a healing. Because green light does indicate healing. And it can mean that they need healing themselves before they can change their life. But it could also mean that maybe they should change their life and go to more of a healing path and do something like Reiki, like I teach. And, you know, I give people to Reiki every week. You know, and as well as being an elemental reader, I am a healer. So maybe it's saying that he should, you know, go onto more of a healing path. See, Claire has put, drawn to him, learning how he has spread his wings and is growing into his new place. Yeah, exactly. I often think that. I think that he's sat there and he's like contemplating the world in front of him, the life in front of him, Dubai, the city, the bright lights, anything that's open to him. But I'm always drawn to the fact that nothing will change unless he does spread his wings, you know, and grow into this new area, into this new place, you know. So the negative of it is that he is sat there and he's just contemplating, but nothing will change if you stay contemplating, you know. And John said about cleansing the card, and cleansing brings healing, yeah. And it could be that you'd say to somebody, or you'd look at yourself and think, right, well, I need to cleanse myself, I need to cleanse my space, or that person that you may be reading for needs to have some cleansing and some healing before he can move forward and change his life, you know. Yeah, and Joe's saying, I felt that there is a mental block. And you could see that there, that he is at a mental block because he's not moving, he's just sat contemplating everything, but he's not actually moving, he's stopping himself. And the other Claire there, Joe's saying about the mental block, sorry. And then Claire, you're saying he's at a higher point in his life, yeah. So you could say he's at a higher point now where it's a point to maybe take that leap and move forward to change in your life. So, hi Sharon, thank you. Hi Umair for joining me. So, I just want to say that's amazing. Amazing. You have all just tapped into looking at one card. You've got an indication because you've got the top title, yeah? And it's a major card. But you've all looked at it and you've all seen it in similar or different ways, and it's right. Everything is right, what you've said, and can have meaning in the card. But you've all come out with that, and you don't even, all the words are covered up at the bottom, and you've all seen this and said what you're thinking. What you are seeing in this card is right. But often we just need to just trust and start noting down what we're feeling. So my point is, for this tip, and I was going to do this like on tip 4 or 5, and I thought, no, actually, from guidance today, I need to do it today. So take a card every day from your deck, and ideally use this deck, because this is the deck that we're following. But if you haven't got this deck, as long as you've got another Angel Tarot deck, you use that card, use that deck. And then basically pull a card every day and cover the words up if there's any words on the card, and then look at it and note down what you think it could mean. And this is a good time to do this at the beginning of the day. And this is how I learned a lot about the tarot myself, is I would get up, I would connect up, and I'll talk about connecting up before I do this. I would always ground myself, and I would always connect up with the angel's guidance, and then I would pull a card from the deck. And you can literally shuffle, you know, and you can see if one just sticks up. So sometimes when I'm shuffling and I do my weekly guidance, which you all probably watch me on Mondays, you can see cards are stuck up there. So I'd take that one because it's stuck up. Or you can just shuffle and you can spread and just spread them out and pick one. And I've just picked one there. Or you could literally just cut the deck. So by cutting it, you've got the deck there, say my hand's the table, and you literally would just take whatever, and that would be your card that you read, and just cut the deck. And what I'm saying every day for this tip is, in the morning, let's pick a card, let's look at it, see what we're picking up, post it in the group, in Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot Guidance group, and at the end of the day, let's review what you've picked up in that card, and let's review it at the end of the day. Because more often than not, something that you see in the card or something that you're picking up will then maybe become relevant during the day, if that makes sense. So, for example, I'm just going to use, well, let's use this card. Let's stick with the same one. So you could go to work tomorrow and you may have an office job. I used to have an office job. And you could get up tomorrow, get this card. It's saying change your life. You can see he's sat there, he's looking. You can see about the green and the healing. And if I related to this to me, this would be me going to work on the Monday, not wanting to go, really not wanting to go, feeling like this is not what I should be doing. And I'd be looking at the green, I'd be drawn to the green in the morning, and then I could come away at the end of the day and think, do you know what, I really have to take some steps towards growing my healing business. And that ultimately, when I look back on at the end of the day and seeing how unhappy I was at work and then being drawn to the green again, thinking, right, I either need to go learn healing and learn more about it, or in my case, I already knew it, I could already teach it. It was just breaking away from that fear and that mental block and thinking, right, no, I need to go for it, I need to do it. Can you see what I mean? How I can relate that to a personal experience. So for you all tomorrow, please pick a card, look at it in the morning, contemplate what it could mean, share it in the group, and then let's review it at the end of the day. And the more time you spend with your cards, the more of a connection, the more intuitive insights you'll get, and the more you'll be able to read them. And trust me, you know, I guarantee this to you, although I can't give you like a, you know, a written guarantee and, you know, all this lot. But what I can say in my own personal experience, the more time you spend with your cards and connecting with them, the more intuitive insights you will get. And then the more you'll start to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and be able to read the cards for yourself and for others. So before you do this, I'm just going to take a step back. So I've gone right into what we need to do rather than taking a step back. When I get my cards every morning, and I will always do this, I feel it's very important, and this is because your energy needs to be right to connect with the cards. What I always do is just make sure my feet are on the ground, and I'll take 3 deep breaths, and then I will see thick, strong roots going from my feet through into the ground, and I'll see them go through the rocks and shale, deep, deep down into the centre of the earth, and I'll see a crystal in the centre of the earth. And I'll notice the colour of the crystal, and then I'll wrap the roots round the crystal. And then I will bring that colour back up through the earth, back up into my body. And this is grounding you with the earth's energy. And it's very important when we're doing any spiritual work, when we're doing any psychic work, to be grounding and grounding with the earth's energy. So I'll feel that colour, and in this case today I'm getting an orange colour. So it's swirling around my body, I can see it, and I do it with my eyes closed. I'm just keeping my eyes open really for the benefit of the camera. And then I will see a white light coming from the highest realms above. And this is like what we did to clear the cards really yesterday as well. Is see a white light coming in through my crown chakra, and then just coming in from the highest realms above and asking to connect with the angelic realms. And I'll see that white light spreading out into my aura as well. So it's nice and protective. My aura is nice and protected with white pure light. And I will ask my angels to be near, and I will ask my ego to step aside. And the reason why I say that is our ego is the voice in my head, and I have this voice, you'll all have it. It's going, what load of crap, Sarah, that doesn't mean that. It's not even, whatever you're thinking isn't right in that card, because you're rubbish at this and you can't do this, and why are you so fixated on that light rather than these steps? Surely these steps are more important than that light. And that's your ego, that's your little voice in your head that's telling you how crap and how rubbish you are. But actually, if you ask your ego to step aside, what it allows you is to have the angelic guidance and your intuition and your subconscious come through. So then you're tapping into, you know, your intuition and letting that speak. And I know when I look at that card there and I look at the light, you know, that might be relevant for me that day. It might be that I need more light. I need to physically get out in the light. I need to open my curtains more, you know, and it's what I need for that day. And never mind the steps or anything else. That's what I need and what I'm drawn to. So I always ask my ego to step aside. And even now I do this because we all have egos. We all think, oh, I'm good at this. I'm, you know, or I'm rubbish at it. It can be too extremes, the ego, to be honest. It can even make you think you're really good at something when you're not so good, or it can tell you that you're rubbish at it. But either way, I ask the ego to step aside, because the intuition and your subconscious and your angelic guides always come from a loving, supportive space. They don't talk to you like rubbish. They talk to you in a nice, supportive way. So I'll ask them to step in and then pick a card. Pick a card that morning and then share it in the group. And just share what you're drawn to in that card, what you're seeing for that card. And then let's review them at the end of the day. And this is literally going to take you 5 minutes. But trust me, if you do this and start doing this with your cards, you're going to start to see more things in the cards and really start to notice things. And this is how you really connect with them and how you start to read them effectively. So 5 minutes, you know, in the morning, just doing this. And the connecting and the grounding can literally take seconds. You know, literally, I can just think, right, ground, see the roots going into the earth, and, you know, taking my 3 deep breaths. And then I'm seeing the light connecting up above, seeing the light coming down. I'm asking my ego to step aside. Angels, please be with me and guiding me today and through the cards. Help me tap into my intuition. And then I can pick a card. And it can be as simple and as quick as that. But, you know, if I ask you how much time of the day can we lose scrolling Facebook or numbing out watching telly or doing everything else but just connecting with our cards for 5 minutes? And I'm sure, well, I'd like to know actually if a lot you can lose a lot of time, which I'm sure you can. So, you know, if you can just take those 5 minutes every day for the next 11 days with me now, well, there's 10 starting from tomorrow. Let's do this together. Let's really connect with your cards. And I'm here in the group. And Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot Guidance group is a private space. So you can comment in there and nobody can read your comments except other group members. And you can really just start tapping in and seeing things in the cards that you didn't maybe see before. And start noticing things and really start tapping into your intuition, if that makes sense. So who's with me? Who's going to join me tomorrow and do that? I would love to know. And I can see there's 5 of you watching live. So who's up for it? Who's up to do it? And you know what? For those of you, and I've just had this come in now, for those of you that haven't got this deck, okay, and you haven't got it, I will post my card in the morning, first thing for you all to comment and look at. So I will pull the card for the group and I'll post it. So for those of you that haven't actually got this deck, you can start looking at the card yourself and seeing what you see and see what you're drawn to that day. And then we can review it at the end of the day, yeah? So Joe's saying she can see an angel behind me. I wouldn't be surprised, Joe, to be honest, because I've been asking for them all to be with me. Claire, that's brilliant. That's great. I'm glad you're in. Linda, I know you've not got the deck, but maybe you can do it for the group card. Joe, it'd be great if you can join in. You know, it'd be brilliant if you can. So let's get all interacting. Let's get all trusting our intuition and saying what we see in the cards. In my Power Angels Tarot course, I have a saying, and it's like catchphrase. So if you used to watch Catchphrase, and you used to watch Roy Walker, he used to go, say what you see, like that. And he'd just be looking at the, you know, there'd be a little man there waving, and they'd take the squares out or whatever, and he'd go and say what you see. This is what you need to do. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it too much. Just say what you see. Say what you're drawn to, because there's a reason you're drawn to that in the card. And the more you get drawn to things, and then the more you start tapping into that, the more things unfold for you and the more of a connection you get with the cards. So that is tip 2. Well, I was going to ask 3 different cards. Angela's just put, sorry. So I was going to ask regarding different cards. I've ordered the deck, so look forward to seeing the group one. That's great, Angela. And you can, if you want to post with a different Angel Tarot card, you can. And you can by all means do that, as long as it's an Angel Tarot deck, I would say, because as we go through, what you'll find is I'm going into more detail in some of the cards. So what you'll find is, say for example, in the tarot deck we have an Empress, and you'll have an Empress in your other Angel Tarot deck or whatever tarot deck you're using. So there'll always be an Empress or a Mother in there, where in an Oracle cards deck there won't be, because it doesn't follow the same structure. So as long as it's a tarot structure, it'll be much easier for everybody to look at and understand, and we're all sort of following the same thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, do that by all means, Angela. So thank you, everyone. If you like these tips, please share them. Please let people know that I'm doing them. I'm doing them for the next 12 days. Well, for 10 days after tonight. Please post in the group. Let's have some fun together. Let's have you getting in touch with your cards and your intuition with them. I'm going to be here supporting you in the group. It's a private space, so let's do this. Let's have some fun. I will post my card first thing for you all. I'm sending you all love and angel blessings. Thank you for being patient. Thanks for joining me late. I'm going to go upstairs now and check how my daughter is. And sending you all love. Thank you for joining me. All right, and I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow I will be on live at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you're working, don't worry, just catch me on the replay and register. If I put the link above, just register, and then you can make sure you get the replay link as well in your inbox, so you're not going to miss one or not need to scroll for any. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know. If you watch the replay, please do comment, and I will see you all tomorrow at 11 with tip 3. Thank you. Bye.